Hey Crypt Keepers, thank you for tuning into Amy's Crypt. Today I am going to be showing you guys 5 real pieces of paranormal evidence that I have captured inside of haunted locations. I've done videos like this in the past and you guys have seemed to really enjoy them, so I thought that I would do another one for you guys but make this one just a tad different, where I focus in on haunted locations from my home country of Australia. Make sure you guys watch all the way through to number 1 as well, because I have a really cool piece of evidence that I want to share with you guys that has never been shown on my channel before. This is from a haunted location and investigation that is new to Amy's Crypt, so it's kind of a little sneak peek into the future for what I have in store for you guys. But let's just dive straight into the first piece of paranormal evidence. Our first piece of evidence takes us to the appropriately named Australian Hotel. This is a historic country pub that has sat in the small town of Boona since 1888. This hotel is commonly cited as being one of the most haunted places in Australia. This makes sense given its long history and the number of deaths that have been experienced within its aging walls. Although there are said to be a number of spirits within the hotel, I'm going to be focusing on the spirit of a child named Katie Marie for the purpose of this video. It is believed that Katie died within the hotel after contracting influenza at just age 4. She is said to typically be sighted in the downstairs area, as she is fearful of some of the adult spirits upstairs. The piece of evidence of interest that I want to discuss was captured within the downstairs dining hall, said to be a very active area of the hotel. We investigated this area for quite some time, using our clear movement sensor balls, believing them to be attractive to child spirits. While these balls did light up when we were not near them, which is interesting as they only do this if they are physically moved, this was not the most compelling piece of evidence we captured when attempting to reach out to Katie. Or maybe the ball on the end even?
Oh.
We decided to conduct an experiment using our thermal camera. This camera measures temperature as well as providing a view of the environment mapped out by heat. During this experiment, I invited Katie to come and hold my hand. At this time, I felt as though my hand was much warmer than it had previously been. The camera also managed to pick up what appeared to be heat dripping down further than my own hand. Can you come and hold my hand? Don't be shy. What does the temperature read?
You're 30 degrees Celsius, or 29 Celsius.
Yeah.
And where your hand is 25.
That's about normal. That's what we've been picking up in here all night.
Every now and then though, like, a bit of heat drips down from the hand.
Oh, really?
I feel like it does.
I'm gonna say that my hand feels weirdly warm, but
Every now and then the red around your hand like grows and drips a bit.
yeah, that's odd. Katie, are you holding my hand? Could this be paranormal, considering spirits are typically thought to cause drops in temperature, or something natural that can be explained? Our next haunted location is the oldest shopping arcade within Australia, the Adelaide Arcade. This building has sat in the heart of the city since 1885 and seems an unlikely place for ghosts to dwell, being a bustling shopping destination. Over the years, the arcade has seen its fair share of death, from accidents to murders. The first piece of evidence that I want to put forward is something that I personally experienced while walking through the mall. All of a sudden, I felt as though something had affected my ear and one side of my face, which I describe and recreate in this next clip. Oh, now my eyes might water.
Actually, that one looks like it's watering.
So we're just walking down the bottom of the arcade and we're just talking and laughing, and then all of a sudden my head felt funny and I had a really high-pitched ringing in my right ear. It even feels weird now, like pressure.
Like in a plane, going up in a plane?
No, it was like high-pitched, like ringing, kind of like...
Can I ask if it was like a high-pitched whistle? You know, like an ultrasonic?
Kinda, like, do you know,
I've had that in the journal, that's all.
if you watch a movie where it's like a war movie and there's like a grenade goes off or something, and then for effect all the voices mute after, and then there's that high-pitched ringing, that was kind of like that, and it felt really uncomfortable. I think it just like knocked me a bit. That was weird. I'm not one to typically succumb to physiological effects from the paranormal, so this experience was interesting to me. Making this all the more compelling was that this happened as we were walking past the area where the arcade's most famous ghost, Francis Clooney, was killed. I was not previously aware that this was the place he had died back in 1887 when he was mangled inside the arcade's generator. It is also interesting to note that Francis was a war hero, so had likely experienced similar sensations during his life. Whether this was something paranormal affecting me or not, it still wasn't the most compelling piece of evidence captured that night. Shortly after this incident, I reached out to any spirits in the arcade using the Ghost Tube app. This is a device that my husband and I have developed ourselves, and thus we trust it over other apps on the market. Part of the functionality of the app is to measure changes in the electromagnetic environment around the phone. Some people believe that ghosts can affect this. This is also linked to one of our more experimental features known as the Ghost Dictionary. This can select words from a preloaded database when certain magnetic readings are reached. Out of all of the words able to be selected, the app produced the word poisoned. Also, we do have a new feature on GhostTube. Unfortunately, this one at the moment is only available on Android. Oh, poisoned. Android. That's interesting because this is relevant to the location, as one of the spirits thought to haunt the arcade is that of a young toddler named Sydney who died in 1902 of coal gas poisoning. Even more intriguing is that Sydney's mother died just months after his death in a nearby park, also of poisoning. Could this all be coincidental? Or do you believe that the spirits of the arcade were trying to communicate with us this night? Our next haunted location brings us to the middle of nowhere, a ghost town out in an extremely remote part of South Australia, known as Farina to be exact. The ruins that now litter the former town of Farina date back to 1878. This town was founded as a farming area, yet soon met its demise due to the harsh living conditions of the Australian outback. There aren't any substantial ghost stories about Farina, yet many rumours that it could be haunted exist. One of the areas we wanted to focus in on during our paranormal investigation of Farina was its cemetery. While we were in this cemetery at night, filming some B-roll for my video, Jared, who is my husband and camera person, claimed to be touched by something unseen. He reported to have something tug on the arm of his jacket sleeve while operating the camera. This caused him to react by cutting the shot short.
I honestly felt like when it happened it was like a goat chewing on my sleeve or something. There's no goat there though.
Goat ghost. There's no goats here, no.
No. If the camera jolts when it happens. I was over here like filming you from about 30 metres away.
Yeah.
And then I felt like something tugged here like on my arm back. And I was just like getting out of it.
Really? Jared remains skeptical of the paranormal, yet this experience clearly rattled him. To me, this makes this piece of evidence even more credible and interesting. What do you all think about this? Can it be explained? Now we move on to one of my personal favourite haunted places, which is Zedwood for the criminally insane. This place is an asylum built to hold those who were too dangerous to be held within a typical correctional facility. Built in 1885 and remaining open until 1973, Zedward had plenty of time to accumulate spirits, and there have been many to visit this former asylum who claim to have had paranormal encounters. While I have picked up on a decent amount of evidence within this building in the past, there is one piece that I want to focus in on for this video. During a spirit box session upstairs of the old asylum, we managed to document a couple of interesting and relevant responses. The spirit box is a device which sweeps through radio stations quickly. Some believe it could allow spirits to communicate. During our session, we picked up on two responses which I found interesting. The first appears to call me a bitch after I reach out, while the second answers a specific question I asked, responding with CAG after I ask, can you say any of our names?
What are you doing in here? Do you remember any of our names?
I thought it was relevant to receive the response "you bitch" through the spirit box, since that was likely the kind of language that would have been used by patients in a criminally insane asylum. You can clearly hear this response is different to any of the other interference we captured through the spirit box. And in addition, bitch is definitely not something that would likely be broadcast on Australian radio, making this response all the more relevant. The second response, CAG, was also very relevant, as this is the name of the tour guide who is conducting the session with us. CAG works as part of Adelaide's Haunted Horizons and spends a lot of time in Zedward. Furthermore, CAG isn't a common name that is likely to be said over the radio. Could it be possible that the spirits have come to know her by name? The last haunted place on this list is a new one to my channel, which I have full videos coming for soon. Welcome to the Bush Inn. This inn has been open since 1815 and has a long and interesting history, making it one of the most haunted places in Tasmania. I recently spent 3 nights with inside room 6, said to be the most haunted room at the Bush Inn. Allegedly, the spirit of a young girl who died after falling down the staircase just outside the room is said to haunt room 6. I won't give too much away about this location or my stay, but I wanted to share with you all just one of the odd things that happened while staying in this room, which I managed to capture on camera. While I was sitting on a chair talking through the history of this room and the inn, I had my camera set up to film me on a tripod. While I was talking, the light on my camera started to turn its own brightness up. It went from level 10 to 35 in a matter of seconds. Over there, and we also investigate the basement cellar area, so that one was pretty cool. My light is turning itself up.
You're kidding.
Oh my god.
Wow, that's never happened before.
That has never happened before. Cellar area, so that one was pretty cool. Cellar area, so that one was pretty cool. The only other person in the room with me was my mum, who was sitting nowhere near my camera or light. This is also compelling, as the light's brightness can only be adjusted by physically turning a knob located on the back of the light. What do you think? Could this have been some kind of fault with the light, or a curious spirit messing with my equipment? Thank you so much for watching, Crypt Keepers. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed that sneak preview of the Bush Inn as well. I really want to know your guys' thoughts on it, so please leave me comments below, especially if you're excited to see that episode. Don't worry, it is coming soon. I am already so excited to read through all of the comments on this video, because I know that you guys are going to share your thoughts on each of these pieces of evidence, and that's really quite exciting to me. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. That really does help me out. If you want to do any more reading on any of the haunted places that I visited from around the world, then head to my website, AmysCrypt.com. You guys can also keep up with me a bit better on what I am up to, what I am doing, where I am on my social media accounts. You can find me at AmysCrypt on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching, Crypt Keepers. Until next time. Also, do you guys like my new set? I love it. I'm in love.